Hello, third grade, and welcome to our math skill for today. We're going to continue looking at addition, word problems, and adding. Now, I added this resource on the side to help us start memorizing all of the words we can look for when we are adding. Some of them you might see are total, altogether, join, both, how many in all, sum, plus, combine, increase, together, and add. Sometimes we have to infer, that means guess, if we are going to add or subtract. If we are getting a total but it doesn't say the word total, then we would have to add. Let's go ahead and begin. Please make sure that you are following along with me on your class kick. A riverboat carried 124 more passengers on Sunday than on Saturday. How many passengers were there on Sunday? Now I see a keyword that sometimes means addition and sometimes means subtraction, more. So I'm not going to box that. I'm going to have to use context clues. We can see that below that on Saturday, 288 passengers were on the riverboat. On Sunday, there were 124 more. So we are adding. So I have a number and I'm adding to that. So that's how I know it is addition. Underline your question and circle your numbers. Our other ones are down here. Now remember, we can use estimating and rounding to help us make a guess of what the answer would be. When we round, we'll be rounding to the nearest 100. So I'm going to get more room below, and you can write it down here too if you would like. 288 and 124. When we estimate, we find the place. So I'm going to find the hundreds place. And it's either going to stay that 100, 100, stay that 100, 200, or it's going to get a shove to the next 100, 300, or 200. Now I can look next door. So I found the place, look next door. 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, let it go. It is above 4, so I will give it a shove. Second one, 4 and below, let it go. 300 plus 100 equals 400. So my answer should be close to 400. Make sure that you wrote this down below. If you need to pause the video, you may pause the video. So now when we are adding, we add by the place value. So first we add our ones. 8 ones plus 4 ones equals 12 ones. That's the same as 110. So that's why I regroup. And 2 ones. And drop it on the floor. Then I can add 1 plus 8 plus 2, which is 100 and 110. So I need to move that 1 to the hundreds place and the 10 to the tens place. Carry it next door and drop it on the floor. 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 4, 412. Now that is close to 400. So that is a reasonable answer. 412 is a reasonable answer. Let's move on to the next page. The Yellowstone River is 692 miles long. It is 51 miles shorter than Kansas River. How long is the Kansas River? So here we have our two numbers. Underline our question. And we are going to estimate to see if we'll get close to the answer that they already got us. So to estimate, we have 692. I'll round to the nearest 100. So I would round to, I find the place. It's either going to stay 600 or it'll go to 700. Look next door. That's 5 and above. I'll give it a shove to 700. And I could actually just add 700 plus 50, and that'd be close to 750. Because I could estimate this one to the nearest 10. Now I can see that their answer is reasonable because it is close to 750, 743. Let's move on to guided practice. When you add 3-digit numbers, how do you know if you need to regroup? I want you to use the voice note on the top to tell me how you would regroup. How do you know if you have to regroup or carry? Add 546 and 327. Would you need to regroup and explain? So I'll write this on the side, 546 plus 327. 6 plus 7 is more than 9. So I am going to have to regroup my tens. Carry the one, drop the other on the floor. The one next door, drop the other on the floor. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. I do not need to carry that because it is below 9. 5 plus 3 is 8. So did I have to regroup? Yes, I did have to regroup because there was one more than 10. Sorry, more than 9. 10 you would also have to regroup. Make sure you have that written down. And you have answered number 1. Now we are only going to answer number 3 for our practice. It says to estimate by rounding to the nearest 10, then find each sum. So instead of estimating by the hundreds, I'm going to estimate to the nearest 10. So 516, I'll find the place. Remember, I'm estimating to the nearest tens place. And look next door. So I'd have to give that shove to a 20. Keep my hundreds. Everything to the left stays the same. Then I'll estimate 325. So I'll find my place and look next door. That can either go to a 30 or stay at a 20. And my everything to the left stays the same. 5 and above, I'll give it a shove to 330. I can add that in my head. 0, 5, 8. So my answer needs to be close to 850. 6 plus 5 is 11. Carry it next door, drop the other on the floor. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 3 is 8. 841 is close to 850, so that's a reasonable answer. For your assignment today, for your independent practice, you will be completing these 4 problems by adding and rounding to show your estimate. So I want you to round on the side and show me what you get. And you can choose either to the nearest 10 or the nearest 100. And then you'll have your actual answer on the side, and you can find if it is reasonable or not, because you might need to do it over again. Below, we're going to do number 15 together. And you'll do number 16 on your own. Mrs. Morris drove 116 more miles on Tuesday than on Monday. On Monday, she drove 235 miles. How many miles did she drive on Tuesday? So we're looking for how much they were added together. So we have 116 miles and 235 miles. All I'm going to do is get that set up for you, and you will have to find the sum, the answer to the addition problem. After you have finished all of your problems, these 4 and number 16, you are finished with your math skill for today.